Welcome to the podcast. I'm Rosa Coelho, your host, lifestyle entrepreneur, health coach, and speaker. I've gone from being in complete overwhelm, burning the candle at both ends, and watching my health, relationships, and business suffer, to creating a life with more joy, ease, and abundance. If you're ready to let go of the overwhelm, reclaim your health, and push past your comfort zone so that you can unleash your next level of success to create a greater impact, then sit back as we delve into conversations as well as bring on guests to share with you tools, knowledge, and real action steps to get you there. Listen in, because you never know when you may hear something that changes everything. Hello, beautiful friends. Here we are for another episode. It has been a little bit of time since I recorded an episode, and that's because I was going through some major shifts. And when that happens, I need to allow myself the time to be really quiet and listen to my intuition, to my gut, to everything in order to make these big moves. And so that's why I've been a little quiet, but it's been such an exciting journey. So much has been going on and happening. And I made some big business decisions, which were scary and fun. And I've also made some personal decisions, which have been amazing and will kind of be revealed in episodes to come in the future. But in the meantime, I wanted to really talk about something that I reflected on so much before making this decision. And you know me, whenever there's something that I feel has really helped me, whether it's just like a different thought process, a different perspective and experience, then I want to share it with you in case it can help you as well. So today's topic is all about loyalty and how loyalty can be a strength and it can be a weakness. And they often say that, don't they? They often say like your greatest strengths can also be your greatest weaknesses, because they can be like a blind side to it. They also say this in relationships, where the thing that you love the most about someone is also the thing that's going to drive you the craziest the most. And I think that's so, that could be so true. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to be talking a lot about this from the perspective of a business decision that I made, but really this can apply to anything, and I'll weave in other experiences as well, but it can apply to relationships with friends, relationships with family, romantic relationships with partners, with work, and also even our own identity in many cases. So we're talking about loyalty. Now, for me as a Leo, I don't know if you believe in all that, but Leos are known to be loyal, and loyalty is definitely a characteristic of mine for sure. Like the last company I was with them for 13 and a half years. My relationship that ended last year was over 12 years. I have had friends since I was 5 years old, and I'm still great friends with them. And so in many cases, like loyalty for me has been such a strength and such a positive. And I want to talk about the good sides of loyalty, and then really the insight that I had when I reflected back on decisions that I've made recently. So the good things about loyalty are loyalty really can build trust with others. Trust that you're going to be there through the good times and the hard times. And we know that any relationship, business opportunity, any of that is going to have ups and downs. And we want to know that if we are investing our time and our energy and our effort into someone, that they're going to be there, not just when things are good, right? They're going to be there to help you through the rough times, and they're going to be there with you. And really that's what builds trust and safety. I would say it really builds that feeling of safety as well. And safety is one of the basic human needs that Anthony Robbins always talks about, these basic human needs that we need. And safety and security is absolutely one of them. And loyalty can really build that. It's a beautiful thing. So it builds trust. It helps you to stick through the hard times. And also, people know that you're not scatterbrained, like you're not jumping from one thing to another, or you're just being flighty with relationships. And as soon as there's something you don't like, you're out, right? So it's such an amazing thing. And I love that I'm loyal. but I want to talk about how it got me into a little bit of, didn't get me into trouble. It's got me, well, I don't know. I think with friendships and relationships, sometimes it can actually get you into trouble, but it can also keep you stuck somewhere because of loyalty. So let's talk from a business perspective. I don't want to get so personal into my relationship because there was a lot of like interesting when I reflected back on my decision. So basically, I don't want to be so what's the word, like weird about it. I left a former company and decided to move on to a new business venture, which is called social retail, and it's been super exciting. But it was a hard move for me because I was with that other company for so long and had amazing relationships and friendships and beautiful customers, and I loved the product, so passionate about it, still am. It was just time for something new. So to make that decision for something new is really hard. So as I reflected back on the decision, I thought, okay, what's really holding me back? Well, what I thought was my loyalty to people that I have built these relationships with. I didn't want to let them down. I didn't want to face that moment where I was going to say that I was leaving. I knew that me leaving would likely impact them financially as well. And that's hard because you want to bring good to people's lives, not anything negative. And as I started to think about it, I started to think, really? Am I staying somewhere stuck because of my loyalty to people, to others? Is it that I care so much what others think? Because I have one thing to say, and that's that those people that I'm referring to never, ever put pressure on me. In fact, they were like my greatest supporters. They were incredible over so many years. And I really trusted. I had a lot of trust in those friendships that they went beyond business, and they did. And this was proven that when I actually told them I was leaving, they didn't try to convince me to stay. They wished me well. They knew the kind of person I was, that for me to come to a decision like that, it wasn't going to be taken lightly. And they wished me well. And I left on such beautiful terms, and it felt so good. And I realized, loyalty really wasn't loyalty. I was using this word, this idea of loyalty, to stay stuck, to not take that next step. It was the fear. And here's the fear for me when I really got to it. And this is where we really need to peel the layers within ourselves and be truly honest with ourselves. And to speak this out loud is not easy. I'm speaking it out loud because I feel like I can't be the only one that feels this way. So what it was for me was I was afraid that me not being overly successful, and don't get me wrong, I did well in that business. It's not like I was a failure in that business. I just didn't do as well as the dreams that I have for myself. And I had been stuck for many years. And I realized I used loyalty as a reason to not move forward, but also because I was so afraid that what if I moved to a different business and I still failed? What if the problem all along had been me? Oh, when I faced that, then the decision was easy. And that sounds crazy because that was hard to admit to myself that this really had nothing to do with anyone else. It was the fear that I was going to fail. It was the fear that I had been the problem and not the systems or whatever it was. And when I admitted that, I was like, wow, that is very possible. It's actually very possible that I might fail in this next venture. And then I thought about it and I thought, well, at least I'll know. At least I'll know it was me, and maybe it's not for me. Maybe my life needs to go on a different journey. But what if this is what I've been looking for? Because so much of it felt so good, so in alignment. It's like fresh. The technology is just out of this world. It's so many things I had dreamed of, but just didn't know how to implement. So what if it was better than I was even allowing myself to imagine? And so I don't know the answer to that. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks. I am blown away at how incredible it is, and have already had success that took me more than a year to accomplish in my last company. But could it go away next month? I don't know, maybe. But it doesn't matter. Like that's the whole point, is that when I really got to what the actual thing that I was afraid of, then I was good. I felt so free to explore that. And so often we put up these walls, these prison walls, invisible ones that keep us where we are. And for me, again, I was using loyalty as the reason to not move forward, because loyalty is seen as this incredible, virtuous thing. And it is, it's a beautiful thing. But what I was using loyalty for isn't loyalty. That's something else altogether. So the negatives of loyalty are that it can keep us stuck. We use that as the reason to not move forward. We worry so much about what other people think. But it's also, I have found it to be very patriarchal. And patriarchy really is, it's these systems that society has created. It has nothing to do with, I mean, I guess it does have to do with men, but it's not men doing this to us right now. It's the systems that we've been raised in, that make us sometimes act in ways that we don't realize have been learned. And this one for women is a big one. I really believe that so many women don't move forward and take these risks because we are worried about what other people think. And we do feel like we're super loyal, and that loyalty then goes above all else. And yet very few men have this. Very few men would stay in a company out of loyalty or out of what other people would think. Now, yes, they may stay out of loyalty, like true loyalty, like in a good, positive way loyalty, like stick it through the hard times and all that. Like that's a good thing. That's the good loyalty. But I mean, in terms of, I was unhappy for so long. I'd given it everything I had. I didn't know what else to do. And it had been a long time. And I'd actually started to give up on my dreams. I had given up on my dreams for a couple of years. I just thought I'm going to go with the flow and just really nourish my customers and love on them. And, completely keep on like talking about how beautiful the product is. And that I did. And it was wonderful, but I wanted so much more. And when we start to shrivel up, that's not loyalty, because that's where we need to ask ourselves a very important question. Am I being loyal to myself? Am I being loyal to myself, to my desires, to my dreams, to this gut feeling, to this intuition? Am I being loyal here first? Because if we're not loyal to ourselves, how can we honestly be loyal to others? And I thought, wow, like this has been such an amazing, beautiful lesson. I used loyalty to be closed off to possibilities. There were many times where I would have these little inklings of, let me just look into it and see what's going on, and if this is something I could do. And I would stop myself from looking at the business model, the products, that, all of this, like this can happen in relationships as well. Maybe if we've been so loyal and so hurt that we then become closed off to the possibilities of something better, something in more alignment. So yeah, it was quite the lesson for me. And so I really want to share that, because I was mixed up with what loyalty is. The definition of, or the meaning of loyalty that I was using is not loyalty. I don't know what name we want to give it, other than maybe fear. The inability to really look inside and ask myself those hard questions. What was holding me back? And yeah, it's amazing. And then to look at the good side of loyalty, like what do I love about being a loyal person? It's all those things. I love that I know that I will stick it through hard times with people and with with businesses and all of those things. I love that I'm willing to do that. I don't just give up when you hit like a little roadblock. And I think that's super important. I don't want to be leaving things and giving up on things in relationships just because something gets a little hard. But when these patterns are like over and over and over, and you find that you're starting to shrink, then it's time to look at it and ask ourselves, like, what's going on here? And can I change anything? And, am I using, again, this loyalty to not move forward? So anyway, I hope that helps you. It's been an exciting time. I'm so looking forward to this new year. 2021 was a big one for me. I know the world is a crazy place and there's so many things that are really hard now, but it was a big year for big changes, for trust. And I have to say the one thing that I did the most this year was I really took the time to be present in many moments and throughout my day, and to really love the really important things, like those little moments that you have with family, or you're laughing, belly laughing with a friend. And, so often our mind could be somewhere else. Oh, check my phone, or I got to go do this or whatever. And I stopped doing that a lot more this year. I really started reflecting on the actual moment. And I also said yes to so many more things where sometimes I would want to say no. And it's not the same want to say no that you get in the pit of your stomach. It's the want to say no because I'm a little bit nervous. For example, this is just one example. I had the opportunity to go water skiing, and now in my mid 40s, I was like, do I really want to go water skiing? I don't want to get hurt. And the last time I water skied was like over 10 years ago. And I was like, part of me, like, I really wanted to go, but then my initial reaction was like, no, I can't do that. And I said to myself, no, you're saying yes to experiences this year. And so that was what 2021 was really about for me. Now, I don't know if you do this for New Year's, but I do love choosing a word. I learned this from my friend, Michelle Ball. She chooses a word as a theme for the year. Last year, mine was joy. I was adamant that I was just going to have more joy in my life. And that's how I did it, is I was more present in moments, and I said yes to things, to experiences. This year, my word is confidence. Confidence, because I lost confidence in business. I lost confidence in a few different areas in my life, and areas that I used to be very confident in. And for some reason, it was shaken. So this year is the time, it's the year to really step into my greatness again, step into that confidence and own it. And I will do that by taking action and really continuing to do a lot of the same things by saying yes to experiences, and really going for it, and not using that excuse of loyalty any longer to hold me back or to keep me from expressing myself or being who I am, because I'm worried about what other people think. So yeah, confidence can be my word. I'd love to know your word. Let me know on Instagram, tag me on Instagram, and let me know what your word is. I'm on there as Brockofit, ROCOFIT. And just before I go, my goodness, I almost forgot to mention this, but if you haven't joined my kettlebell Saturday classes, please do. They are so much fun. So the way it works is every Saturday is for women only. We do a 30-minute kettlebell class. So the idea is you come already a little bit warmed up, ready for the workout. And then the workout is just 30 minutes, because I don't want to take a ton of your Saturday, but it's amazing how strong you can get in 30 minutes. And so we do the workout together on Zoom. I record it so you can redo the workout a couple of times in the week. So it's good to do your strength training 2 to 3 times a week. I create a whole monthly calendar for you. It's so much fun. We have women from around the world. Like we have women in France and Scotland and England, in 3 different provinces across Canada. It's such a beautiful community. And right now it's a monthly membership. You can join whenever you want. You can go anytime that you want. So if you're like, I'm just going to do this for 60 days and then I've got traveling coming up or whatever it is, then you can just go onto your PayPal account and you just unsubscribe. So it's super easy. I like to keep things simple. Right now, the rate is insane. It's only $27 Canadian. So if you're American or British, like that's an amazing deal. But that price feels really good to me right now. So I'm just going to keep it there, and it might go up in the future. We'll see. But right now that's where it's at. So the link is below. It is rockofit.com/KB class, but I will put the link in the show notes. And yeah, have an amazing, amazing week. And I will talk to you soon. Have a beautiful new year, celebrating into the new year. We do have a class on January 1st. If you're going to join us, what a great way to start the year. But I am wishing you so much joy, love, happiness, abundance, all of it in 2022.
Thank you so much for listening in today. I know time is precious, and I'm grateful you shared yours with me. It would mean the world to me if you felt an impact, a moment of inspiration, or learned something new, if you would share it with those you care about and leave me a review on iTunes. I'd love to know what spoke to you or what you'd like to hear more of. Your sharing and leaving a review would help so much on this journey to making an impact on as many people as possible. It's worth it. I know from experience, there are moments when something we hear has the possibility of changing everything.